There are many different ways to tie a tie, and today I'm going to show you my favourite 5 tie knots. So first on the list at number 5 is the Prince Albert. We're going to start with the wide side in your right hand, and then as it's draping, you want it to be about fingertip length. So wide side in your right hand, wide over narrow, and then underneath and over the top twice. Once, twice. Now, tip here is to keep your finger in behind the back loop there, so that when the tie goes up the back and then comes down the front, you've got that hole ready for it to receive the wide end. And then when you pull it tight, you will bring some of that loop down below, which creates this tulip effect. So that when you tighten the knot, you slide it up to your neck. You'll see that distinctive second loop being visible. As you can see, it's a bigger knot, a heftier knot, and as I say, for that reason it's probably less popular because you need a longer collar point to go with it. But one of my favourites, and that's the Prince Albert. Second on the list at number 4 is the Shelby Knot, sometimes called the Pratt Knot. So the things I like about this knot is it's small and it's symmetrical. So if you like a Windsor knot for its symmetry, but you want a smaller knot, a neater knot, possibly because you're wearing a smaller collar, then this knot is great and not very complicated, but very neat, very smart looking. So start off with your tie on backwards, if you like, with the back showing to the front. Again, all of these, you're roughly starting with the tie at fingertip length. And what we do, instead of going over the top, we go under. So you go under, then the first move is down the neck loop, across the front, up the neck loop, and down the front. And then pull it tight, create the dimple, slide the knot up to the neck, and then adjust. As you can see, it's small, it's neat, still very smart and very symmetrical. So if you do wear a collar with smaller collar points, this is ideal for that sort of collar. Anyway, that's number 2, the Pratt Knot or the Shelby Knot. Coming in at number 3 is the 4-in-hand. The 4-in-hand may surprise you that it's at number 3 because this tops the list for many people. It's famously James Bond's favourite style of knot and one of the easiest to learn, classic school tie knot. So for these reasons, it's the list topper for many. Not for me, this is my number 3. However, here we go. Again, I'm going to show you roughly fingertip length for the wide end in the right hand, and we simply go over the narrow end, once over, up the back and down the front, pull to tighten, slide up to the throat. Now, it's an asymmetrical knot. That side's longer than that side. It's smaller, which is why it suits a much smaller collar. It's very quick to learn and it looks very smart. But there you have the 4-in-hand. Coming in at number 2 is the Kelvin knot. Now again, this is one where the tie starts off back to front and it feels as though you're tying it backwards. Again, fingertip length on the wide end. Now we're going wide under narrow, and this time we're going once and then twice over, then up the back and then down the front. And it's not the same as the Prince Albert, where you go down the back loop. You're just going down the front loop with this one. It's asymmetrical again, just like the four in hand. Nice dimple. But again, because you're going that second time over, it's a little bit more hefty than the standard four in hand. It's medium complexity, medium size, so it's straight down the middle. But looks great as a knot, and it's one I think you'll enjoy wearing. So straight in at number 1 on the tie knot hit parade. It can come as no surprise to you because it's the only one really left of the famous ones. It's the Windsor. The Windsor knot is sometimes called the full Windsor, the double Windsor, or just simply the Windsor. They are synonyms for the same tie. The half Windsor is a slightly different knot. So full, double and Windsor are the same. Half Windsor is slightly different. Today, this is going to be the full Windsor or the double Windsor or the Windsor, whichever you want to call it, but they're all the same. To tie a Windsor knot, again, we are looking for wide end about fingertip length. Step back a little bit. Now, the secret of the Windsor knot is that we're going to go firstly wide over narrow. Then it's really actually quite a simple knot to master. We just go wrap it once around the left side, once around the right side, once around the front, up the back and down the front. A lot less complicated than it sounds. Once around this side, once around that side, once around the front, up the back and down the front. I would say medium complexity. It's not a difficult knot to master. Now, again, we'll just straighten it up and neaten up the tie. And there you have the double Windsor, or the full Windsor, or the Windsor. They're all the same, the Windsor knot. I love it, it's my favourite. It's my go-to. I tie my tie with a Windsor knot every day, typically. Unless, for the reasons I've said before, I've got a bigger collar or a smaller collar and I want something that matches the collar. But basically, my go-to knot is the Windsor. Now, bit of a tip for tie wearing. You also always get what I call tie snobs, and I deeply dislike tie snobbery. You wear the tie and the knot that you like and that suits you. You'll see people at weddings with massive statement knots and short front blades on a tie, and the tie snobs will say, oh, that looks ridiculous. If you like it, you go for it. The tie is your expression. It's your statement. It's an expression of your personality. Anyway, if you would like more sartorial tips, more tying tutorials, or more pocket square tutorials, follow along, subscribe, like, and comment to let me know what you want to see next. I'll see you next time.